Leap of Fate podcast fans. Welcome to this week's episode with yours truly, Randy Silver. This week we got a unique episode, so you can see here, I'm with Sean, Awear Apparel. You guys know him well.
Hold on, I think I should do the intro since I'm moderating this episode. Why don't I introduce?
Okay, Sean, take it away.
This episode is going to get into Randy's pretty crazy life update, and I don't even want to play it down. Randy had a pretty monumental shift in his life, a month ago?
Yeah.
And so today's episode, we're going to break down what exactly happened, how he went from managing a global sales team to his current job today.
Awesome. So everyone's reached out and asked me, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, what has happened. You guys saw I left Cisco. I'm very humbled. I had an opportunity there, moved to a new company. So we're going to talk everything around it, how I got the new job. It's a really cool story. It's all about 2021 and using social media and how you can make networks, connections and networking and all that goes with it. So we'll let Sean moderate as you would on Clubhouse, actually. He'll ask me questions. I'll answer the questions and we'll take you through the story. But before we do, listening audience, thank you so much. A moment of gratitude to y'all. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do every day, helping me out with your subscriptions, with your fans, with your rewards, with everything you say to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the feedback you give me. Positive, negative, always makes me improve. So, Sean, take us away.
I think it's my turn now.
Yeah.
Let's get right into the good stuff. I'll tell you guys what I've observed from the sidelines, and then we can let you add some color to it. Basically, you were running a global sales team at Cisco, and you started Leap of Fate as a podcast. So you started cranking out all this incredible content. And as you were doing that, you started to diversify where you were putting the content. You got into TikTok a little bit, and around that time, Clubhouse blew up and started to open up. And all of a sudden, you started to dive into the Clubhouse world. So what happened there? You jumped onto a Clubhouse, or maybe we should say, what did you notice first about Clubhouse?
Good question. So for all of y'all, if you don't know what Clubhouse is, look right here. I have a video saying what is Clubhouse. A lot of people have reached out, said it was really helpful. Clubhouse is a audio-only app. It's on your phone. iPhone's only right now. And it's basically like live podcasting. You can jump in the rooms. Whoever is speaking, you can listen. There's different layers of the room. So if you want to go on stage, you raise your hand. They'll bring you on stage and you can talk to people. And there's rooms around everything. I help curate sales rooms, marketing rooms, MMA rooms, fighting rooms, UFC, things like that. You can learn about investments, Bitcoin, NFTs, sports. You can start your own room around anything. It's truly a place where you can connect with people of common like ideas. Now, what I think is the best is it's not about the number of followers you have, the number of likes you have. It's about the quality of the value you provide. So when you go on stage, no one knows what your career is and what you've done outside. It's not pictures, it's just audio. So what they hear is what they're getting. And if you provide value, people are going to like it and they're going to want to continue to listen to you. If you're providing BS or no value, then you're not going to get a lot of people interact with you because they're going to see between the lines. So that's a Clubhouse in a nutshell. It's really cool. Again, go watch that video. I really like it because I love sharing education with people. I love trying to teach people. As a sales manager, sales leader, I hop into a lot of rooms around leadership, culture, sales practices, pitches, everything that goes with it. I've been really able to help people who are trying to grow themselves and practice their pitch or practice sales, learn about UFC, anything, and help grow these people. Inside the Clubhouse, there's actually a Shark Tank. All y'all know the Shark Tank room on TV. Great TV show. Check it out. Super cool. They do that on Clubhouse. Different type of investors. Sometimes those same people are in there. And they hold it every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. to midnight West Coast time. So you can either go on stage or you can just sit and listen to people and they're getting their pitches evaluated and deals are being happened. Fair enough. I really like to listen. I don't have a product I pitch. I don't have a business I'm running. So not really something to go on there. But it was a Friday night. And now this is where we're going to get to it, Sean. So this is the good stuff. How did I get this job? So I love Cisco. Did not look to leave Cisco whatsoever. But when opportunity knocks, you take the chance on yourself, you take it because you only get this one life and you need to make it happen.
Some might even say you take the leap of fate.
The leap of fate. Product placement right above you. So it was a Friday night. It was raining in San Diego. I wasn't going out and they were doing it and they opened the room up that night to anything. It was about, hey, whatever you want to pitch, if you want someone to help you as a coach, someone that mentor you, have them come on your podcast, whatever it may be, then come on stage. So I was like, cool, maybe I'll have them come on Leap of Fate, whatnot. Let me raise my hand. I waited 3 hours before they brought me on stage. There was about 1,500 people in the room, 35 moderators on stage who can bring people up. So, I'm sure there were a lot of people with their hands up. They chose me to come on stage, which was great. So I was like, great, time to create a pitch for Leap of Fate and why they should come on. And I was like, you know what? What if I pitched them why I should work for them? It'd be really cool. It's something unique, something outside the box that they haven't heard before. And not that I'm looking for a new job, but these people are multi-millionaires. It'd be great to work for them and learn from them and have them as a mentor. So after 2 more hours of waiting, now...
You were on stage for 2 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours. So
and
now,
you got on stage without a pitch. So once you got on stage, you realized, okay, I need to put something together.
Yeah. So just knowing it would take me a while once I was on stage, because they always do banter and whatnot. Created the pitch, and now it's like 10 o'clock at night, 10:30. And here's the preface of my pitch. They're like, Randy, welcome on stage. What do you want to talk about? I was like, well, I'd like to actually just give you the pitch, and you guys will find out in the pitch. They're like, cool. You have 1 minute. There's 1,000 people in the room. Begin. Hey, everybody. My name is Randy Silver. I'm here on stage today to not tell you about an idea, to not tell you about a business I run. I'm actually here to pitch you something outside the box. I want to pitch you why you should let me work for you. Not everybody in this world has an idea and has a $1 million idea, but everyone who has an idea or has people needs help doing it. And I'm a doer, and this is how I can do it. I'm 28. I've worked at Cisco my whole career out of college. I have moved up in management from just being a sales rep to a West Coast manager, to a US manager, to a global manager, now a senior manager within 4 or 5 years. I've helped multiple organizations integrate into Cisco when they got bought. I have cross-functionality, organizational excellence in helping teams leverage and scale from 5 people to 20 people. My AR on my team is in the millions year over year. I've had 25 plus people on my team get promoted up, showing that I know how to develop talent and make that talent be great and move forward in their careers, which is the number one most humbling thing out there. With all that being said, I know I only have 1 minute. My goal here is this is a quick interview for you to bring me onto your team. Is this something you'd be interested in speaking more about? Yeah.
Boom.
So that was off the top of my head. I had notes when I did it. It was a little bit more polished there, but layman terms, how would you say that is?
That's great. I mean, hey, if you have nothing to sell yourself, right?
Yeah. So after 3 seconds, again, there's 35 people on stage. Someone goes, bullshit. All that is bullshit. I don't believe anything that you're saying. I was like, whoa, okay. So what did I do? I said, hey, go to my LinkedIn. Randall Silver, LinkedIn, check it out. I have all my accomplishments there. I have everything in there that is around references and whatnot. It's legit. So someone goes to my LinkedIn. There's some banter going, asking me questions. Someone goes, nope, this guy's legit. Everything he said is right. Within 5 seconds, I had 8 entrepreneurs hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on LinkedIn saying, DM me, let's talk. And everyone on stage was like, hey, let's go. This is awesome. Let's go. This is cool. Let's talk. And they're about to give me like the overall feedback. And drum roll, please. Sorry if that hurt your ears. The app crashed. The whole app crashed.
Boom.
The whole room, everything, the whole app crashed.
Done.
And they never opened it back up. So I was sitting there on such an adrenaline high. I had just done this great pitch. All these people are in my DMs. And the app crashed. I was like, oh my God, like, what do I do? And I called Sean.
You called me. Yeah. You were electric.
And I couldn't believe it. And I was like, cool, calm yourself down. What do you got to do? So the first thing I did was, of course, make sure I hit all the people, all 8 people. I reached back out to them and said, thank you so much. One of them in particular asked for my phone number and said, hey, I want to like text you right now. Gave him my phone number off of LinkedIn. He said, if you're very serious about this conversation, let's go ahead and interview at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday morning. Right now, it's been like 11:30 Friday night. I was like, cool, let's speak tomorrow. So like sick, right?
Yeah, immediate.
We get on the call 11 a.m. and I have my hair in a man bun. And he goes, oh, welcome to the man bun team. Everyone on this level has one. I was like, wait, serious? He goes, yep, I have a man bun. The CMO we're looking at has a man bun as well. Welcome to the family. I was like, okay. And just as a side note there, like, that is what is about life and making those connections. Is once he said that, even though I had just met him and there was this whole unique experience of going from Clubhouse to this interview, it felt natural and it just felt right having that conversation after that point because we bonded over something so simple. I was like, oh, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
We get it. And we spoke for an hour and a half about his business, what he was doing, about my career, everything around it. And at the end of it, like, I just felt there was something there. It gelled really, really well. And again, because we live in this YOLO, I'm like, do I need to take this leap of faith on myself? If I feel it, let's make it happen. So that all happened, which is great. And he asked me to create him a 2-page go-to-market plan of what the business was. I had never experienced a business before. So the business is called Neat A/B Testing, and they do A/B testing for Shopify merchants. If you don't know what that is, Sean himself with Awear Apparel, go check it out. They're a Shopify merchant. They use Shopify for their checkout. On his page, you'll see different shirts. You'll see different prices, different designs. People can use our tool on his page to be able to say, hey, maybe you test $40 shirt versus $45. And after 2 weeks, you'll see the results of what shirt performs better based off of impressions, people adding it to cart, buying it. Should you put a checkout on the first page, on the last page? Do you need to do different designs? Do you need to do different split URL, different ads, go to different pages? So with our tool, you can do all that. So for all these merchants, to be able to use this tool to then help them grow their own profit revenue and business, key. Massive, especially as e-commerce, as we know, in this space has gone significantly higher during the coronavirus. So I did not know any of that whatsoever. So I spent 3 days. I created a 15-page deck presentation for him.
15-page deck.
15-page deck. And this is why. If you want the job, you got to go make it happen. So I'm pretty good at making presentations. I know some of you guys give me some stuff out there. I can't spell. I know it. I apologize. It's a fault of myself. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm a one-man team, but I understand I need to get better at spelling.
If you find a typo in Randy's content, that's just validation that he made it himself.
You're right. So again, we all have faults, and my fault is like, I can't spell. I'm really bad, and I'm trying my best at it. So thank you for the feedback. If you see I make an error, as Sean said, tell me, because I really appreciate it, because I need to be 100%. So I made this 15-slide deck presentation, and the first 7 slides was like about me. And some people just put pictures and whatnot, but it was really a timeline of my life story. And if you want to see what this looked like, I'm happy to send it to you. And it's a very de-escalating way for you to kind of brag about yourself a bit, but you're doing it in a way like saying, this is what I've done. This is the traits I have. This is the qualities I possess. This is why my vision is what the vision you should buy. So you do that for the beginning, and then you move into the go-to-market about the company. And now they understand the value you provide, the traits you have. So when you tell them about what you analyze in their business and why you can come enable parts of that business or change it up to what it needs to be, they see the value that you provide. So at the end of this presentation, I gave it to 2 people. I got a text after it, and it was just, wow.
Yeah.
Just wow. Blew them away. Again, humbly. It was great. But I did my homework. I spent like 8 to 10 hours over the course of 3 days understanding Shopify space, understanding the product need be, understanding the customers, understanding the competitors, and how you can evolutionize each aspect of that and providing tangible solutions to how you can do each of that.
That's amazing. So then it's like, do they want to take you on or not at that point, right?
At that point, he's like, we're interviewing other people, but you're definitely our top candidate. So we kept talking. I had to also as well make sure the company was right for me. It's an early stage company going from Cisco where it's 80,000 people to now you're going to a startup that's 5 people. It was an app developer, guy bought it, and now he's building the company out. That's a big risk. 401k, is it there? Insurance, is it there? Stock options, is it there? Everything with it. And yes, it's cool to potentially have a title change, but if it doesn't holistically fit your life and what you're trying to do, then it's not something that is probably the best for you in that moment.
And it's also funny because it's so on point with so many of the conversations you've had with other guests, where it's like higher risk, higher reward, you lose the stability, you're out on your own, like you said, no 401k, less benefits, less stability, but the upside's much bigger. So you have to ask yourself, right, is this something that I even want? Because up until that point, you hadn't expressed much interest in going on a more risky route.
Yep.
This kind of just fell in your lap and forced you to have that conversation with yourself.
Yep. And I had that conversation, and after I got the offer and, everything was in the offer I needed, as I'm a partner in the company, that means I have the partner equity type of relationship. I have the partner in the salary. I have the partner in what my vision is and what I can develop. He's like, I want you to join. Please, we love you. Come on board. I took the weekend and I really did soul searching. My big thing I always do when I have a decision to make, this gonna sound so simple, but I make a T-chart, literally just straight T-chart, pros and cons of each decision, and then I look at them. When I visually see it, that's when I really am at my best. And the pros outweigh the con of going.
Do you want to go into what the pros and the cons were? Is that something?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, break it down. Give us a verbal T-chart.
So I'll do 3 for each. The pros of leaving Cisco to go in this company. 1, it's a title change. And I know I just said that, but going from a manager to a chief revenue officer, it just puts me in a different cloud. So in that terms of my career, because I've never been a chief level revenue officer, I can now put it on my resume, on my LinkedIn, etc. If this failed, I wasn't successful here, regardless of that happening, I can command more in terms of potential wealth in my next opportunity or title. Maybe if I fail here, I can't go back to being CRO. I go a step down, but I get recognition. I get more opportunities because they see that on my resume.
Yeah, and that's still a step up from where you were.
Exactly. So I'm not every time you go for a job should be a title change, but when it has that type of significance, it's something that definitely plays a part for sure. So that was number 1. Number 2 was I was starting to get burnt out of Cisco. Cisco's an 8,000 person company. I spent 5.5, 6 years there, quite a long time. I've been through multiple acquisitions, a lot of different teams changing, and I could have still had upward growth, but I found myself waking up kind of not hating going to my work, but like feeling beat down, feeling run down, less motivated. And nothing that Cisco could provide me if they gave me a new job opportunity, a new career and anything, it wasn't going to change that feeling. I needed something different invading my life to kind of give me that pick me up. And if I'm out there on this app pitching myself to work for them, subconsciously there's a reason why I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So that played a big part. And number 3 was they let me work remote. And Cisco was not going to put me back into an office like I can be remote. But this opportunity, letting me be remote, never have to go to the office, and I love living and working remotely. I do great at it. It was a good positive. Now, the negatives of leaving the company was going from 80,000 people to 5 people, 3 people. So what does that mean? Pros and cons. Am I ready for this title? I've never been a C-level executive before. Like, yes, they think I deserve it and I'm ready, I'm going to crush it, but do I? Do I personally think that I'm going to make that happen? And you have to come to terms with like, yes, there's a reason why you got to your point, you did the work, and they see that value you provide. And then lastly was just leaving all my friends at Cisco and leaving everyone I work with. I built up the team, globally, worldwide, everyone I built, the relationships I have is great. And having to leave all that was tough. And I'm a relationship, good-hearted person. Hopefully you guys recognize that. So like, it was tough to make that type of decision. But it comes down to what I always tell my team is you have to do what's best for you. At the end of the day, you control your own life and your own decisions, and the decisions that you make will impact what you do moving forward. And being 28, I'm single, live in San Diego, work remotely. If there's an opportunity for me to take this chance and take this risk on myself, like Sean did with Awear, this is the time now. No kids, no mortgage, no nothing like that. If that means I take a smaller salary to start with, higher equity, but that equity turns into multi-million dollars if the company gets bought, stock exchange in the future, it's something that I felt comfortable with taking at this point.
Yeah, and you had a good track record. It's a very calculated risk, right? I mean, you have some savings, you have great 5-6 years at Cisco, and here you are ready for the next step. If you're ever going to take a risk, like you said, it makes the most sense to do it in your 20s. So you kind of knew that, all right, this is my shot. This is my shot.
And this is where we knuckle. So I made that decision, hey, this is my shot. And I told my manager, the first person you have to do, I believe in line of respect, line of responsibility. I told my manager. I called him. We had our one-on-one that Monday morning after I made the decision. Shocked. If you're listening to audio, my face is...
His face dropped.
Boom, boom. that was his face. Shocked. Not expecting it. And we were about to build out the team even more. I was getting approval to hire another 15, 20 people over the course of 6 months. Woo. And that's a lot of responsibility.
That's a lot of growth.
Yeah, that's the accelerated growth. We're doing really well. And it's all credit to the team. Because of their success, they wanted me to hire more people. And now I have to drop all that work on him or other people. Again, you need to look out for yourself. But I felt bad. I'm just a good person. Luckily, the hiring hadn't happened yet, so it wasn't like I was in the middle of interviews and just leaving. So it was a good clean point when it happened.
Yeah.
But then I told my manager's manager because I wanted her to know because she was the one who really helped me with my opportunities. She was shocked as well, and that was a tough conversation for both of them. I cried. I will openly say I cried on the phone. I cried out of tears of joy, but on those conversations, just tears of I felt like I was letting them down. And I know they weren't. They said the right things, all the best things, but I truly care. So then the next part was, how do I tell my team? And again, mind you, some of these people have been on my team for 3-4 years. They're my best friends. They hang outside of work. We've traveled the world together, all this type of stuff. And I knew it was going to break their heart. So we set up a meeting. I tried to go 5 words in. I lost it. Oh. I started crying instantly. They were probably like, what is happening? And then my manager kind of said, guys, you can tell something's up. Randy's putting his 2 weeks in. And I brought it back together and talked about it. They were all super shocked. Of course, said the right things as they would. They were expecting nothing less. But from their perspective as well, their manager's leaving, so what the heck does that mean for us? Again, they're not making about them, but these are the types of things that go into people's heads when someone at that level leaves, and you're like, okay, how does that affect my daily life? So I had to make sure when I spoke to them one-on-ones, of course, we all talked about, Randy, we're so happy for you, but I wanted to just make sure that they knew that their job wasn't at jeopardy. Yeah. It wasn't anything dictating the business. I just couldn't pass this opportunity up. So that was really cool to do that. It was hard. And then slowly I was able to start telling more people in the company. And this is where I'm going to say my one big humble brag of this was I try my best to be a really good person. And everyone out there, if you know me, I think you can see that I'm really putting other people out first. The outpouring of love and support I got from everybody at Cisco who said the nicest things about working with me, the impact I made on them or their people, and how they're so happy for me and my success and moving forward. I cried nonstop for 2 weeks. And I would Sean would text me how you doing? I'm like, dude, I am breaking down right now. Yeah. It's a lot. And the people, and again, if you're from Cisco and you sent me something, thank you so much. And it just means so much because I asked for nothing in return. And I just try to make a good impact. In hearing the impact I made and how there will be a void that can't be filled. It was just a dream of mine that was awesome.
You deserve it. It's all the validation that you put everyone first. So to hear everyone really express to you how that made them feel is amazing.
Yeah. So for 2 weeks, my life was hard. Again, I wasn't starting a new job yet, but I had all this travel knowledge, 5.5 years at the company, all this management. I had to meet with people around the world. I had to meet with all these individuals, all these different teams, offload all my work. People say 2 weeks, oh, it's a fun 2 weeks. No, man. I was grinding 10, 12-hour days. I recorded everything I did because I wanted to make sure I set them up for success. That last day, I'm starting to choke up talking about it. That last day was really hard. That's where they did a goodbye party. They did a virtual Kaboo game. They had a bunch of questions. 100 people hopped on virtually.
Wow.
And said goodbye. I popped the final champagne bottle. The success.
True Randy style.
You have to celebrate. So it was tough. And then I took a week off. You guys saw the Josh Retreat video. If you didn't, check it out right here. Starts with me leaving Cisco, going to Josh Retreat, having a good time. And now I've been at the new company for 2 weeks and been the CRO. We have had a lot of fun.
So, how's the first 2 weeks been? Are you still mourning Cisco, or are you completely full on the new gig?
The first 2 weeks have been interesting. Going from 80,000 people company to now 5. There's no policies. Let me reset. There are policies, of course. There's no procedures. What's the CRM? What's the sales tools? We had to upload everything into all that. We had to buy the correct tools. All that we're having to meet every day. Hey, how do we want the company culture to run? How do we hire people? How do we do this? So everything that a corporation provides you, we're building everything from the ground up, which is such a unique challenge because I've never had the opportunity before. So I find myself learning so much about the day-to-day of a business that Sean organically learns from running his own company. I've never had that chance. And then I started having to do the sales part. I'm the only salesperson, so any type of sales function, if that's cold calls, cold emails, reaching out to leads, warm leads, running sales demos, that's on me. Of course, as a small company, we have people helping us, the CEOs helping me, all that type of stuff. But I out there made 150 cold calls last week. Like 700 emails. I got 8 meetings. My goal is 10 meetings a week. I started on Tuesday, so technically I hit 4 out of 4.
4-day quota.
Yeah, 4-day quota, but strive for the moon. But
you're doing everything. You're doing everything.
Yeah.
You're doing everything from the foot soldier to the head in the clouds visionary, long-term thinking.
And then on LinkedIn, if you guys saw my post, someone I spoke to was like, I would never expect a C-level executive to reach out to you. Reach out to me and cold call me and talk to me. But when you're a small company, you have to do what you have to do to make it happen. And it only helps me moving forward become a better leader because I understand the job of the people I'm about to hire, and I know how to enable them. I know how to teach them, and I've been doing that job, and they'll see me as an effective leader.
So you close out. Let's do a little recap. You closed out at Cisco. Very emotional, tough for you. The people were one of the closest things and the hardest parts. You start your first 2 weeks. You're basically building this company, at least the sales side, from the ground up. You're doing everything from daily cold calls to implementing new softwares. Are you doing hiring? What does like the future of this job look like for you?
We eventually will hire people. Right now, we just got to get back to break even ARR, which is average recurring revenue. Once we start making a profit off of that, then we can go ahead and hire people. Right now, there's other positions I would want to hire before sales. If I know that I can handle the cold calls, the emails, everything, I want to keep it. If there's other positions that can enable our success, like implementation manager, more people to help with the marketing, more people to help with account management, until we get an influx of leads that's too much, then I will probably do all the sales. But as a small company, there's so much we have to learn. Like the question is like, do we use Gmail versus Outlook?
Yeah.
Never was a question at Cisco. It was Outlook all the way. So there's a lot of different stuff that, we're just making those types of decisions, and I get to help try to implement it. So it's helping me learn a whole different style.
All right, I want to get into the real stuff. Any regrets in that first 2 weeks? How's your decision been slowly settling into your life?
No regrets at all. I don't live with regrets. If you look at the past, you'll never move forward. That doesn't mean you can't learn from your past. Definitely learn from your past and analyze the decisions and how they could have been different. But you don't live your life with regrets, because then you're not going to look to the present and the future.
I love it. That's a good mantra.
So I have no regrets. I mean, it's been great for 2 weeks. Of course, it's a different challenge, different uniqueness. But, I left Cisco at a good spot. Cisco will move on. It's a big corporation. They'll survive. I'm still friends with everybody. It was not bad. So everything has been well.
You closed out nicely, starting to open up even nicer. You have no regrets. The future looks bright. What was like your standout moments of this whole situation?
I think it would be the outpouring of love everyone gave me. Again, from Instagram to Facebook to LinkedIn to my people in my daily life, texting, calling me. Everyone reached out and said the nicest things and said happy about my success and all that goes with it. So it just, again, is so gratifying to never ask for anything in return and just try to be the best person that everyone you can be, and to see people excited for you back. It was very heartwarming. It just made me feel loved, especially in this coronavirus world where we can't be around each other a bunch. It made me feel welcome and loved.
You got a full dose of that love and connection.
Yeah. Huh? I'm good for years.
Loaded up. Well, you deserve to feel nothing but love, Randy. You've been such an amazing friend to all of us, so we're super happy. I'm happy that we can get your life update out. I think the last closing section here, we should give some tips on social presence and ways to improve some of these networking opportunities. Personally, watching you with your online presence through social media and then the introduction of Clubhouse, I just felt like that was such a perfect platform for you. You've been doing a lot of Instagram stuff, and Instagram has kind of already hit its prime. It's tougher to grow on that platform. It doesn't give you as much organic reach. Clubhouse was in its heyday. It was in its glory days. And you're such a good facilitator. Your experience has built these skills that really bring people in. And I was in my first Clubhouse room with you, and every person that came into the room, you stopped and were like, all right, let me catch you up. Do you want to say anything? And people were like, wow, that's the first time I've ever been able to speak on Clubhouse. And that's when I was like, okay, Randy's going to do something special with this platform. And within 3 days, you called me on that Friday night and you were like, dude, you won't believe what just happened. So I mean, what do you think? What's your takeaways from social media, networking, Clubhouse?
I think for Clubhouse, as I said earlier in the podcast, it's really a great place for anybody who is wanting to provide value or being able to speak to people like-mindedness and hear all the same type of content you want. It's a great place to be. Now, some people use it where they go on stage and they talk a lot. Great, that's you. Some people just tune in like it's a radio show and they don't listen, they don't talk at all. That's totally great, and you're just getting so much value. So whatever industry you're in, you can find people like-minded and you can learn from them. Or like what I try to do is I try to help share and get people to understand how they can benefit themselves.
And that proved to be very fruitful for you because that's a platform that really rewards that type of behavior.
Yep. And if you're not on Clubhouse, if you want to invite, go ahead and hit me up. I have a couple of invites I can share with you. We'd love to help you. If you have any questions around Clubhouse, again, watch the video I created or reach out to me, and I'm happy to help you with the moderation of a room or figure out how you can yourself really keen in on Clubhouse.
And jump on stage. Randy's forced me a few times. I mean, Clubhouse it's such a weird experience because you sit there and you listen like it's a podcast. Mm-hmm. And if you click a button to raise your hand and they pull you on stage, you're all of a sudden in the podcast. And that happened to me where I was listening to this Clubhouse and Randy was like, dude, go on stage, ask a question. And I was thinking, I'm a little nervous. Like, these guys are pretty big. I raise my hand. I'm immediately on stage. Oh man, it's like overload. Ask my question, and it just was so bizarre to go from being in the audience to all of a sudden being on stage. But that question I asked led to a lot of follow-up for me, which was really good. And so shoot your shot. Take your leap of faith. Randy pushed me to be more engaging with the platform, and it was very rewarding.
Where else in the world can you speak to someone directly? Instagram, behind a keyboard and a picture. On Facebook, behind the keyboard. Twitter, behind the keyboard. Clubhouse is live audio. So when I speak to Sean on Clubhouse, he's responding back to me in the moment. There's nothing artificial about it. There's nothing fake. So when you have all these people you've always wanted to talk to, and you're just like, hey, Sean, like, nice to meet you. I'm here. Let's talk. It just changes it. And people want to share what they've learned with others. So it makes a great place for people like Sean, who's trying to really grow himself in the apparel business. He can learn from other like-minded people who've been through his shoes. And they want to help him achieve success as well.
It's way more intimate. There's a level of intimacy on Clubhouse right now that's very unique to social media. People that usually you kind of watch from the sidelines, all of a sudden you can mix it up with live in real time, almost in person. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty exciting on that front. And it's crazy to see how Randy, so bold and daring, immediately jumped on stage after a week of learning the platform and had a huge shift in his life because of it.
Yes, I thank you so much, and I appreciate it. And I think, again, to take it to the next level then, overall is just make it whatever you want in life happen. You guys hear me say this all the time in this podcast. YOLO. You hear me say all the time, like, you can control what you want. Whenever you have a goal, it's going to be hard to get to it. It's not made to be easy, especially goals that are in the moon, in the sky type of thing. However, when you have the right mindset, it makes it easier. When you go into something with the defeated mindset, or you go in thinking you can't do it, then you definitely won't be able to. So I'm not saying the right mindset will make it easier, but it will give you the opportunity to propel because you'll want to push yourself harder. You'll want to succeed. You'll want to go the extra mile because you believe that it will help you get to where you want to go.
Yeah, and to add to that, when you are growing, you're in a situation where you don't have the skills you need to fill that new space. So you're supposed to feel uncomfortable. I've learned that when I do feel uncomfortable or overwhelmed, those are usually the moments that I'm doing something correct. Like, to me, that's validation. If I'm too comfortable for too long, it feels great, but there's no growth. I've learned to avoid that feeling. And when I feel that discomfort from growth come, charge harder, because that's the direction that I really do want to go at the end of the day. When you look backwards, you want to say, I came from there.
Yep. And to give people a minute update on you, Sean, how's Awear going?
Awear's going well. We're both sitting in these beautiful bamboo shirts. We are closing out Q1. We just had our Q1 review with our advisory board that we put together to kind of help guide us through. It's a bunch of seasoned business people more closer to the end of their careers that are helping advise us. So we're talking high level strategy, and it's exciting to think like big picture for what's coming to Awear. And if anyone bought a shirt in the last few months, thank you so much. We had a ton more orders than we ever could have imagined. We sold over 50% of our inventory, which is great compared to, where we were last year with the first drop. So thank you so much for the support. We look forward to releasing more stuff. We want to build our meditation community. We're going to release hopefully like a meditation month thing that people can jump on and learn more about meditation in April. I don't have a lot more details there, but high level, that's a little Awear update for you.
Again, go check it out. Go check out any of our podcasts we've had with Awear around starting the company, updates, meditation. Thank you so much, Sean. To everybody, this was this week's podcast, Leap of Faith. I hope you really enjoyed it. Again, I hope this answers some questions about just my life update and how you can kind of enact the same types of skills, traits, attitude to go achieve whatever you want in your life. Sean, thank you so much for moderating today.
My pleasure.
Can we do the sign off together?
We should.
Drum roll, please.
Stay healthy,
stay wealthy, and have a good week, fans.
Deuces.
Bye.